Hey guys, welcome back. For me, when watching a movie, the actual numerical age difference between the lead pair isn't the biggest issue. What really matters is that when you see them on screen together, they need to actually look like a believable couple. But recently, filmmakers have been making some wild casting choices where the chemistry is absolutely zero, and it just looks completely unnatural. So, today we are going to talk about some of the most awkward on screen pairings that totally took me out of the movie. So, let's get started. Watching the casting choices in Veera Simha Reddy was genuinely a bizarre experience. First of all, having Honey Rose paired opposite the old Balakrishna playing the father was actually okay. When I saw them together, it didn't bother me much. But then comes the twist. Balakrishna's second role in the movie is playing Honey Rose's son. It was so awkward, it was absolutely unbelievable to look at the character Honey Rose was playing and accept that she has a son who looks that old. And to make things worse, the younger Balakrishna is romancing Shruti Haasan. Watching all of this unfold on screen was just an unbearable experience. Back in the day, seeing Salman paired with actresses like Sonam Kapoor or Anushka Sharma didn't feel like a major issue. In those older movies, Salman still carried a relatively young looking face. But by the time we go to Radhe, his age was very visibly showing on screen. Pairing him with Disha Patani in that specific movie was just a bad call. I'm not saying it gave off father-daughter vibes, but when they were cast together, I genuinely couldn't see them as a romantic pair. The visual mismatch made the whole dynamic feel incredibly boring and forced. Unlike the other movies on this list, this pair doesn't have any typical romantic song and dance numbers. Still, having Zarin Shihab play the partner to Mammootty's character didn't feel convincing at all. When I watch the film, I can clearly feel that Mammootty's character is older while Zarin looks much younger. Honestly, Malayalam cinema usually avoids making these kind of glaring casting blunders. So I was genuinely surprised to see this happen. Even if the script intentionally called for an older protagonist with a much younger partner, I just don't think it was executed well here. I have to add this one because it fits perfectly. Akshay Kumar playing a young historical warrior king while being in his mid-50s was already a stretch. But pairing him with Manushi Chhillar, who was in her early 20s and making her debut, made the whole movie feel like a parody. The visual disconnect was so strong that during their romantic scenes, it felt less like a historical epic and more like two people from completely different generations being forced to act together. Let's talk about a generation shift. A few years ago, when Deepika Padukone debuted opposite SRK in Om Shanti Om, or when Lakshmi Rai acted with Mohanlal in Christian Brothers or Mammootty in Annan Thambi, it never felt this awkward. Yes, there was a massive age difference, but on screen it didn't look completely weird because actresses in their 20s back then had a much more mature screen presence. Today's actresses in their early 20s like Mamita Baiju, Sri Leela or Kriti Shetty have a very prominent Gen Z youthful, almost teenage look to them. They don't look as mature as Anushka Shetty or Deepika did in their 20s. This brings me to Dhurandhar, and here is the kicker. The awkward casting wasn't even historically accurate. The film is based on the true story of real life Indian spy Ravindra Kaushik and his Pakistani wife Amanat. In reality, when Kaushik went undercover and got married, both he and his wife were in their mid-20s. They were a young couple close in age. There was absolute zero historical need for a massive age gap. Yet the filmmakers actively chose to cast a 40-year-old Ranveer Singh opposite to a 20-year-old Sara Arjun. Ranveer's age was very apparent on screen, while Sara looked incredibly young. Because it wasn't true to the real story, the forced visual mismatch felt totally unjustified and just completely misfired for me. Whenever I look at who is cast opposite Ravi Teja in his recent movies, I instantly get a bad feeling. We saw it with Sri Leela in Dhamaka, and we saw similar weird pairings like Pawan Kalyan and Sri Leela in Ustad Bhagat Singh. But the worst case for Ravi Teja has to be his pairing with Bhagyashree Borse in Mr. Bachchan. First of all, trying to present Ravi Teja as a 28-year-old young bachelor is a shock in itself. His age is very obvious, and then taking an actor who clearly looks older and making him do absolute cringe romance segments and dance numbers with Bhagyashree, it was just tough to watch. I have a feeling Mamita Baiju is going to become a frequent victim of these bad casting choices. Seeing her paired with Dhanush in Kaira was super weird. But honestly, this isn't just a Dhanush problem. Pairing her with almost any 40+ actor is going to look awkward. There is a high chance we might see this happen in the upcoming Bethlehem Kudumba unit with Nivin Poli. There are also rumors about her pairing up with Surya in Vishwanath Sons. I'm not 100% sure if they are the main romantic pair, but if they are, it's going to look just as bad. It seems like filmmakers will keep making these bizarre casting choices because they think putting a young actress next to the lead hero magically makes him look younger. Newsflash, it usually just highlights the age gap even more. We will probably keep seeing this trend in the future whether we like it or not. Let me know down in the comments which on-screen pairing made you cringe the most. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye guys.